you know, the world champion, and as well as Lomachenko.
You expecting him to move around a lot? You expecting him to come in? What type of fight are you expecting?
Oh no, I don't expect him to come in. He said something about coming in like that. I highly doubt it. I think he'll try to. Any smart fighter will think, well, maybe we can't deal with his hand speed. Let's punch when he punches. You know, let's try to punch when he punches. It's a possibility they do try to come in. You know, well, let's try to at least smother his speed. Let's smother it. You know, these are some of the factors that could possibly happen in the fight. But like Mike Tyson said, everyone has a game plan until they get punched in the face.
No doubt, no doubt. Go ahead.
Jared, I asked you Monday about, remember you brought up the sauna incident prior to Lomachenko, and I asked you who was the person responsible for that. You didn't want to name names. I'm just curious, why would you protect somebody who did wrong by you?
It's not a thing protecting someone that did wrong by me. That's just a code. It's a code. It's something that's just unspoken. It's an unspoken code, man. That's similar to racism. You know, it's a line that just. Nah, I mean, it's just an unspoken code, just like racism. I feel as though racism is something that's probably still in the fact as of now. You know, but that's that line that's being drawn. It's an invisible line. So it is. It's no big deal. We recognize what the issue was.
That person's no longer involved, right?
Not
back to the old ways.
Not at all. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Keep your circle tight.
Yeah. All right. No. Sometimes you need to give credit to where it's due, especially when they do wrong by you.
Yeah.
But if you want to take the high road.
We never been the type of guy to point fingers anyway. We dealt with it. At the end of the day, we can't put that on nobody else but ourselves, or bring somebody else within our own, you know, within our nucleus anyway. So no big.
And speak, you talked about the double.
I'll see you Saturday, man. Thanks.
You talked about the double standards. I remember when you first was the mandatory for Johnny Gonzalez. Do you feel that now this fight is bigger than it was then? I mean, I remember there was some people saying that you didn't deserve the shot, which made no sense to me, but now, after all your trials and tribulations, the Lomachenko and everything, you think the fight is bigger now, or what?
Yeah, I think the fight is bigger now. I think a lot of people overlook the fact that when we were trying to get the fight with Johnny back when, Johnny was the one that turned the fight down. He felt as though it was the high-risk fight with low reward. Like I said, in this particular case, I feel as though that it's been magnified even more after the loss with Lomachenko. So apparently he got the reward, but he still got the risk.
You think he took the fight? Because, I know he turned the fight before, turned it down. You think he took the fight because you lost to Lomachenko, or?
To me, it doesn't even matter. I don't know if he took it because of what happened or etc. At the end of the day, we expect the outcome to be us winning.
I know you're not surprised, but it surprises some people that you're going into this the favorite. Probably doesn't surprise you, though.
It doesn't surprise me. Honestly, I never really thought of it that way. I looked at myself as being the favorite in any match that we're in. If you're a fighter and you don't feel as though that you're the favorite, then it's pointless for you to even get in the ring at all. So I would expect for Johnny to feel that way. I expect for Johnny to feel as though that he's the favorite when it comes to this fight. It's pointless to fight someone that don't feel as though they have a possibility of winning the fight. You definitely don't want that. But it's cool, man. We can get the fans what they want to see.
Does it look like your speed should carry you to a victory? I mean, more elusive?
Well, we feel as though speed would definitely carry, but you need more than just speed. If you have a smart corner, like I say, the smart thing to do will, he's fast, let's punch when he punches. Or he's fast, let's close the distance, let's smother his shots, where speed isn't a factor when we're in close. These are things that you have to look for, to be able to counteract. These are some of the things that we worked on in our training camp. Having a decent inside game just as well as a good outside game. Being able to read your opponent. Being able to make the necessary adjustments on the fly before you even get to the corner. These are the things that you need to be a great fighter. You need to have the ability to be versatile.
He's got the power. That's what I would think the thing that you worked on the most, that left hook of his.
I mean, yeah. To be good at anything, you have to study. We study footage on him. Of course, we know that his left hook is one of the things that you like to do bad. So quite naturally, I'm gonna give it to him. I'm gonna let him have what he wants. You want your left hook, I'm gonna go right to it.
So he's been knocked out before. You think you can knock him out?
Certainly.
Yeah.
I feel as though anyone can get knocked out when you got on 8-ounce gloves.
Yeah. Were you shocked when he knocked out Abner Mares in the first round? What was your reaction when you was watching that?
Actually, I was upset because in that particular time we were planning on fighting Abner after that fight. You know, and Abner lost. You know, which is cool. You know, everything happens for a reason. So Abner lost to Johnny. Now we have an opportunity to compete against Johnny. If everything goes as planned the way we wanted to go, I'll be the new featherweight WBC world champion, and I will certainly immediately after want to defend the world title with Abner.
This is what you've been working for, though. I mean, to get that belt.
I've never been working for a belt. You know, it's funny. A lot of fighters, they have this vision or this dream to want to become a world champion. That was never a goal of mine. I always wanted to be an Olympian. I accomplished that feat in 2008. You know, I had a lot of people that I didn't know at all that genuinely had my support, genuinely just had my best interest at hand. You know, and for me not to be able to compete in the Olympics and actually be one of the favorites to medal in the Olympics, you know, I feel like I let a lot of people down by not being able to compete. It was then when I decided, well, the only way I could possibly make it up to my fans is to become a world champion. You know, so this is honestly a new goal of mine that's just a reoccurring, you know, so that's actually weird when you think about it.
Gary, you know, despite him being the champion and coming off a great win, you're the favorite. What do you think people that know what they're talking about see when they make you the favorite?
Honestly, I don't know. Maybe they just see what we feel as though we possess. They see my hand speed, they see my boxing IQ, they see the ring generalship, they see me actually thinking in the ring. You know, I call it controlled chaos. You know, a lot of people, they think that boxers are just brawlers. You just go in and you throw punches. It's a science to everything. It's definitely a science. You got to do your work. You got to think. You got to be patient. You can't be emotionalized. You know, guys get hit with a good shot. You have some guys that get frustrated and immediately wants to get back at this guy. And he's winging and throwing shots versus taking his time, recomposing yourself, getting everything together, working behind the jab, and being strategic about his attack versus just emotionalizing everything, you know. So it's definitely a science when it comes to the sport. And I think the people that put me in the favor, they see that within me.
Do you think your youth and your speed, your superior speed, will lead to the victory? Is that one of the biggest reasons why you think you can win the championship Saturday?
A lot of times people talk about speed. I think, once again, I just spoke on several other attributes other than just speed.
Right.
You know, I think speed would definitely play a factor, but I feel as though I would need more than just speed to win this fight.
Everybody talks about the first round knockout over Mares. Is that in any ways fool's gold because you don't get to see what he can do over the course of a fight?
I mean, definitely. And I seen the fight with Abner Mares and Johnny. I honestly didn't feel as though that Abner lost any fans at all when it came to that fight. You know, it was early in the first round. He caught him with a shot. He hurt him, and he never got a chance to really gather himself together, you know, and perform. And actually, going into the fight, before he actually got caught, I thought he was winning the beginning part of the fight before he got caught. You know, so stuff like this happens in boxing. You know, you got on 8-ounce gloves, one punch can definitely change the fight.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
You fought Vasily Lomachenko. It was a good fight, and now Saturday night it's Johnny Gonzalez. Do you think Johnny is just as good or a better fighter than Lomachenko, or is Loma probably going to be the best guy you faced up to this point?
I don't even think Lomachenko was the best guy that I faced up until this point. I think that it was things that occurred within my training camp that enabled me to do things that people were naturally used to seeing me do. You know, you did not see my speed, you did not see my power, you did not see the ring generalship. I was flat, I was tired in the first round.
But was it any? I'm sorry. But was it anything that he did that surprised you though at all?
Nothing at all. The only thing that I can honestly say that did surprise me with the physical state that I was in, I honestly didn't feel as though I can go 12 rounds with anybody, you know. So if it was anything that was surprising, it was surprising that he couldn't get the fight over with.
Is there a desire in your heart to get that rematch to show people that wasn't the real Gary Russell the first time around?
Certainly it's a desire in my heart, but it's not to show anybody else other than myself.
Just yourself.
Yeah.
Critics don't matter.
Nah, none of that matters. My father told me a long time ago, you can never please everybody. As long as my family please and the people that's been in my corner 110% all the way from the beginning all the way up until now, as long as they're pleased, I'm cool.
What are you expecting Saturday night? Are you expecting domination, or is it just, I'm just going to do whatever it takes to get the victory by any means?
I'm definitely expecting domination. And if it's not, then that's definitely our plan B. There's no quit in us, no way, shape, or form.
You know, you took a lot of good punches against Lomachenko, so is it possible that even if Johnny does land that left hook, it won't have the same effect?
It's funny because, and I guess it's just something that the media does. They always tend to point out the negativity when it comes to certain things. You know, even when you talk about Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, Pacquiao had 7 or 8 losses, but they're still hyping this guy up like he's just this superstar. He's 7 or 8 losses, so they tend to point out the negativity. Once, like I told you once before, you know, in boxing you are as good as your last performance. My last performance was a win. They keep bringing up Lomachenko, this, that, and the third. Okay, cool. It's not no big deal. We're going to make this thing happen.
I'm sorry, I meant it like as a way to give you praise, because you showed a lot of toughness and a really good chin. So, you know, even if that hook does land, it doesn't mean, you know, you're going anywhere, is what I meant.
Yeah, but I don't think having a good chin is a good it's something to be proud of anyway.
Floyd Mayweather has said that before.
Yeah, that's definitely nothing to be proud of.
You're not supposed to get hit,
The purpose
right?
of boxing is to hit and not get hit. That's the mark of the Queensberry sport. So having a good chin, I understand you feel that you give me a compliment, but that's really not a compliment.